History's watching. The world is watching.
The reason Donald Trump's dominating the race, what he did for us, and what he'll do for us.
The campaign ads, just like these, have already begun.
What a great crowd!
Costing candidates, when all is said and done, billions of dollars by Election Day.
What we're seeing right now, it's record-breaking numbers.
Matthew Foster from American University has been tracking the fundraising numbers for years and says they've been going up, election after election, for decades.
It's like an arms race. I mean, every party has to outraise the other. There isn't one advantage to one party. The question is this the best way to spend billions and billions of dollars?
Campaign finance reports show that at the start of the year, President Joe Biden's campaign had about $46 million in cash on hand. Former President Donald Trump's campaign had just over $23 million, and Republican Nikki Haley's war chest had just under $15 million. On top of that, the two major parties held a combined $29 million ready to spend. And this fundraising is showing no signs of slowing. Brand new numbers from the campaigns show that in January alone, the three candidates brought in a combined $36 million. President Biden leading the way with a nearly $16 million haul, outraising Trump by about $7 million. But all these big numbers from the campaigns tell us just part of the story.
When you look under the hood, do you think a lot of people would be surprised to see how money gets to campaigns?
I think so.
Sourav Ghosh is the director of federal campaign finance reform at the Campaign Legal Center in Washington and says to understand what's going on, it's helpful to separate the money in federal campaigns into two buckets. In one bucket, you've got the money raised by the candidates and the national political parties. And these have strict contribution limits. Individual donors can give no more than $3,300 to a candidate or a party in each election. But then there's the second bucket, where you'll find outside groups like super PACs. These groups are raising millions of dollars for candidates, running ads and sending mailings for them. But they're not supposed to be coordinating any of this with the campaign. And these super PACs have no contribution limit at all.
Literally, the sky's the limit. The depth of your pocketbook is the limit.
And the latest numbers show that these super PACs are gearing up to spend big yet again. The main super PACs for Biden, Trump, and Haley had just over $50 million combined in the bank to start the year.
Exponential growth every election cycle.
And of course, it's not just presidential elections where we're seeing big spending. If you take a look at races for House seats, Senate seats, and for the White House, according to Open Secrets, we had some $14.4 billion in total spending in 2020, more than doubling what we saw in 2016. So if that trend line continues, we could be looking at yet another record here in 2024. But Foster says that there are signs of donor fatigue, as both Trump and Biden are lagging behind where Trump was at this point in 2020, when Foster says the level of fundraising was a complete shocker.
It's getting to the point where the resources are thinning out. There's only a finite amount of money, and I do believe that 2020 may have been the high watermark.
Meanwhile, another concern for campaign finance watchdogs like those at the Campaign Legal Center is so-called dark money pouring into elections from tax-exempt organizations known as 501c4s. These groups, which include organizations like the National Rifle Association and the Planned Parenthood Action Fund, are created to support causes and values. They're allowed to transfer huge sums of money to super PACs and do not need to disclose who their donors are. Ghosh argues that all this outside money is bad news for the typical voter.
That they are more and more being pushed to the back by the wealthy, the special interests who have the money and are looking to influence the political process.
In Washington, I'm Evan Kozloff, Spectrum News.